better. It's not gonna happen. This is the best I'm gonna look today.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Alright, so, how I said we're, snowballing off of how the building impacted the community, and now we're talking about how you've impacted the community, and in our opinion, you're our local hero, even if it is free. So, in our last one, we talked about your community involvement, and we didn't know if you'd like to elaborate more on that for us, just what you've done for the community.
Of what I've done,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing, isn't it?
No.
You know, I've done, like most small businessmen and businessmen in Monmouth, or women, you're involved in a lot of different things. You have the privilege and pleasure of working with a lot of different groups of people. Chamber of Commerce, United Way, Monmouth College, fundraising for them. Been a member of what they call Scott Society, but it used to be the Fighting Scots Association before you were born. So I've been around a long time. I did on local economic development for probably 15 or 20 years. Helped with Boy Scout drives, because I was a Boy Scout when I was young. Coached Little League because of my kids. Now all I do is travel with grandkids. I don't have to coach. Probably the greatest privilege I had, and the thing I enjoyed most was, for about 20 years I did Republican politics. I was Republican County Chairman from 84 to 2000, and I was 17th Congressional Chairman for the State Republican Party for 12 years. I did a lot of traveling, got to meet a lot of different people, met a lot of different candidates, met 3 presidents of the United States, or candidates for. President, I served, a lot of people want to get rid of it, but I served on the Electoral College. I found that to be fascinating. Took, my children got to go to a lot of different events and meet a lot of different people because of what I did, and what I was a part of. So, like, my oldest daughter went to the Electoral College with me, and I believe it was 1988 for George Herbert Walker Bush. And that was really fascinating to be a part of that process, and to know that even though people are trying to get rid of it, know that you were part of that process, and that your name's always going to be in that book for the people that signed to say that George Herbert Walker Bush was going to be president of the United States. I was also his electoral 4 years later when he lost to Bill Clinton, so I didn't get to go. So yeah, you got to do a lot of different things. I got to do that. I got to travel a lot, spend time in Washington, a lot of time in Springfield, starting with Governor Thompson through Governor Ryan. I left when Ryan came in. But Jim Edgar was there for 8 years. So yeah, that was a big part, and I was very fortunate that I worked in a family business. So I could work out my own schedule. I might come in here very early in the morning because I have to go somewhere for a dinner or a speech or a reception. And because I worked with my dad again, he was very supportive of it and said go. And the other person that has to be very supportive if it wouldn't work is your wife. Well, she taught school, and we raised 3 kids. And during a little bit of that time, she was very busy because I was gone a couple, 3 nights a week. So, that was a very interesting period in my life that I enjoyed very much being involved. And no, I wouldn't do it again now. I'm too old to be on the road that much. But it's the political process is fascinating. To know what's going on the inside is really fascinating. So I enjoyed that. But that ended in 2002. By my choice, I decided it was time when a group of us came in 1984. As I remind people, we said it was time to get rid of the old guys. And we needed new young leadership. Well, 20 years later, they needed new young leadership. We became the old guys, even though we didn't think we were. Well, you were. I mean, and, you know, your generation's gonna take over very, very quickly, a lot quicker than you think. And on both sides of the aisle. And there's gonna be some that are gonna be, wanna be Democrats, and some that wanna be, that's truly what makes this country great, is the fact that we can make choices. And we can have very good people run, and we can have people that some of us don't think are very qualified. But in this country, you can run. And, you know, that's probably a pretty good thing. Because not everybody's gonna agree with me. I really think they should, but not everybody's gonna agree with me. So I think you know, I was taught at a very young age that you need to give back to it. If you're gonna take something out of a community, you need to give back. You need to support the people that support you. My wife, who is from Monmouth too, was raised the same way, so we both came out of the same environment. We had, so belief systems that were pretty parallel, but not really completely parallel. She's not quite as conservative as I am.
Oh, great. When you were talking about how your dad let you go through a lot of those things, there was like the key role in allowing you to have so many of those privileges. And then in our last project, we researched this and saw that he won Citizen of the Year. And so was that a key, like was he a big role in your involvement in the community?
Absolutely. Absolutely. My dad did it for I don't know how long. Longer than I can remember. So it did. You know, I took a different route than he did. I wanted to be involved in politics. He was involved in politics and always behind the scenes. I wanted to be more involved in front of the scene. I like running campaigns. I didn't want to be elected anywhere. I had that option too. I told him no, that wasn't my goal. My goal was always to finally make it and have somebody from a small county that would be in the state party. And I made that. I got to do that. Got to know a lot of pretty great people. So yeah, we both did things like that. But during that period of time, I was very conscious of not letting politics get in the way of community organization. So I was not out front in those organizations during that period of time. And you know, all of a sudden now I should be saying no, but I'm on all sorts of stuff again. So I'm the United Way co-chair of the campaign this year, and we're working real hard to raise money and to help the people in the community that we can help. And we've got great leadership in our new executive director of the United Way, so some of us have come back that have helped several times as part of that campaign. And, you know, you think you're at the point where you're going to be able to say no, and really, if your friends come ask you and push your arm a little bit, you usually get up out of your chair, shake a hand, and say, "I'm in. What do I got to do now?" And that's I think it's a small town because we all know each other, and when we need help, we all help each other. I don't think you get that in a big city. I've got a son in Chicago. I got a daughter in Chicago. Sometimes they can't even tell you who their neighbors are.